And tonight, the search and recovery for the missing continues. And so do mounting questions about the Hill Country's preparedness.
Yeah, we've learned there were gaps in preparation, communication, and oversight that left so many in harm's way. What did local officials and camp leaders know, and when did they know it? Investigative reporter Jeremy Rogowski examines the growing call for accountability.
Yeah, we discovered breakdowns, shortcomings, and missed opportunities to keep people safe. That date from that dreadful July 4th morning to a decade before the raging river came through.
Despite the menacing nickname Flash Flood Alley, the level of preparedness in these parts has been a mixed bag.
The evacuation sirens have been sounded.
The morning of July 4th, the Bernie Star newspaper captured blaring sirens in the town of Comfort.
Floodwaters continue to rise,
warning folks to get to higher ground. At least 4 counties along the Guadalupe River have outdoor warning sirens in place. But in the hardest hit Kerr County,
we do not have a warning system.
It just hit me, why didn't we have that?
It sparked a Texas mom to start an online petition for a Kerr County early warning system.
If they had 5 minutes warning, if these kids had 5 minutes warning, they would have saw what was going on, and I guarantee you they would have took those kids and ran for higher ground.
But when Kerr County officials debated sirens years earlier, it did not go over well. In 2016, then Commissioner Buster Baldwin said, "The thought of our beautiful Kerr County having these damn sirens going off in the middle of the night, I'm going to have to start drinking again to put up with y'all." The following year, another commissioner, Tom Moser, said, "Too many people said they did not want sirens." And so Moser and county leaders never pursued them.
Did Kerr County do enough?
In hindsight, could we have done more? Perhaps so. Should we? Perhaps so. But it's a matter of, the money that you have and the revenue you have coming in.
Accountability also rests where so many young campers and counselors died. Headlines show Camp Mystic flooded many times since opening nearly a century ago.
It was a ticking time bomb, Camp Mystic.
Jeff Evans spent more than a decade forecasting Texas storms in his 34-year National Weather Service career.
The terrain and the way those creeks converged, it was just a matter of time till what happened on the 4th of July happened.
Even with the known danger, records show Camp Mystic tried to get out of FEMA's special flood hazard maps, requesting the removal of 15 camp buildings in 2013, and years later, 15 more.
Spending time and resources fighting the maps rather than really focusing on safety.
Syracuse University professor Sarah Prowley doesn't know why Camp Mystic challenged FEMA's maps, and the camp did not respond to requests for comment. But her years of research reveals property owners often do so to avoid costly flood insurance and stricter building codes.
You would think that at a camp for young people, they would be particularly cautious, certainly about the risk of flooding.
In the end, FEMA approved both requests, putting much of Camp Mystic on paper just out of the blue-shaded 100-year floodplain. But in reality, Prowley says, it was still in the thick of it.
The lowest point in those areas was sometimes a foot above the base flood elevation. That's not a lot of room for error.
The Guadalupe is starting to come up, and Shoemaker is no longer passable at this time.
There was no room for error when the torrential floodwaters rolled through.
I had this program running.
But real-time scanner recordings captured by John David Trollinger offer a glimpse at the gaps in alerting those in harm's way. Listen to a firefighter's urgent plea at 4:22 in the morning.
Is there any way we can send a code red out to our Hunt residents asking them to find higher ground or stay home?
Stand by, we have to get that approved with our supervisor.
Code Red is Kerr County's emergency notification system that can push alerts to residents' phones. Trollinger, who helped install the system as the county's former IT director, says he didn't receive one until after 10 that morning.
Someone needs to be on the phone to authorize it immediately and get these alerts sent out.
That is a point of failure.
Jeanette Sutton is founder of the Warn Room, a training tool for agencies to improve warnings and alerts.
For whatever reason, they weren't available to get in touch with that supervisor in the middle of the night. That does need to be addressed. That's where people's lives are on the line.
But officials have repeatedly said their priority is on recovering the lives lost, not a timeline of the emergency response.
We're not running. We're not going to hide from everything. That's going to be checked into at a later time.
The time for accountability, they say, will start at the state capitol with the upcoming legislative special session.
Our City of Kerrville and Kerr County leadership are committed to a transparent and full review of processes and protocols.
In Flash Flood Alley, a review perhaps long overdue. Jeremy Rogowski, KHOU 11 investigates.